We have had a lot of flying pilot, Air Force, but let me speak about the social part of it for this Murang'a group, which includes the one who has left us, Kano Getai. I started campaigning for presidential candidates in 1992 when I was campaigning for Raila Odinga and as a Kikuyu, and Matiba was the opposite candidate. Anytime I went to that side of the country, they would block roads. They would be told there is somebody who is a Kikuyu not campaigning for Matiba, but campaigning for Odinga. But when I get to where the roads are blocked, they see me, they say, oh, it's SK. Okay, we'll remove there. So they remove them and I go on. In 2022, there was no big deal because Raila had joined Kibaki to compete in a presidential election with Uhuru, and it was a Nisia election for Kibaki. Then it came to 2007. When Raila Odinga and the current President Ruto were presidential candidates against Kibaki. And again, Kibaki is a Kikuyu, and I happen to have been campaigning with for Raila everywhere in the country. That always gave a huge, and all that I'm going to mention, Betty, why she's a senator, is because she was charged by Mrs. Macharia to be in all those road shows and campaign, always to make sure that I'm well fed. Then in 2017, 2012. Oh, 2012. Is it 2012?
2012.
No, the one that Kibaki won. 207 against Raila. 207. Kibaki won, and we had data, complete data, that it's Raila who had won the election. I know some people will run away here, but let them run away, because we agreed with the Getahi. I'm speaking to the soul, Getahi. Here is only the body. And we had agreed whoever dies first will reveal this information for the country. So that's why I'm doing it. Our data was showing Raila had won with 1.8 million votes. And I was picked from my house at night, and all the returning officers from Mount Kenya region were held somewhere, and their return forms taken. And I was taken to my office, I found some people, I'm not going to mention their names, and we changed all those figures, and Kibaki won the election against him. I'm not going to mention about 2013 election, which again was Uhuru, or 2012 to 2013. Again, I campaigned for Raila, and Royal Media had already started then, and Inoro TV and Citizen TV were switched off in the whole of Mount Kenya region, but that could not make me change my belief in Raila, because Raila was left to me by his father. Then we came to the election of 2022. 2017, before 2022. In the election of 2017, it was Raila against Uhuru and Ruto at that time, the current president. We learned that the register had been changed. You keep on pressing me, I won't stop. The register has been changed for voters. When you are registered a voter, you have your fingerprint, you have your photograph, and you have full names. That some names, they have taken some IDs from the death register, and they have the names, but they don't have a photograph. That's how Raila got beaten by, but remember, Malaga codified discrepancies and drew away the election. And Raila said he's not going to repeat the election with the IBC being not changed. So obviously it was Uhuru and Ruto. They won the second round, the repeat, easily. Then I want to mention, because all this is in our records, about the election of 2022. We went to Naivasha to plan for the election of Raila as a candidate. Again, remember, it is Uhuru against Raila, and I'm campaigning for Raila. And at Naivasha, I tried to explain that the register that is going to be used has fake voters, but Raila was so impatient, he stopped me from explaining. But these 4 commissioners that will resign in the end or were fired, they came to my house and I showed them how the register is not true. But that's how, obviously, again, and you remember Musando, that's how the votes have been put in. And now I come to 2022 election, whereby I try to convince Raila that the voter register that is going to be used is not proper. They should give it to us, even if we are going to be his agents and organize the agents. He didn't think so, and because of the handshake with the Uhuru, he thought it is a free flow. just for jokes, 2022 election comes. It's Raila against Ruto. They were saying they were saying we have deep states, and Ruto would tell them which deep states you have, because Ruto knew exactly how the extra votes will be put it doesn't matter. You know, I'm 82 years. If I get kidnapped or hijacked, 84. It doesn't matter. Kano has gone and he was younger than me. So we must just tell this, because I want to tell President Ruto, and it's good that Raila is here, if he wants to leave this country, good, because he's the president and we cannot do anything, yeah? Whether he won the election or he didn't win, he's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. But the only thing that can help us is to make sure that a new register of voters is created. If election comes before I pass on, like retiring in the next 2.5 years or so, so that all Kenyans can cast votes, and each vote will, even if I lose, he loses, at least he will leave a good country that counts votes, and each vote. So, my fellow Kenyans, this is what I would ask for President Ruto to do for us, to have a new voter register, and to make sure that the next election, whoever gets elected will be elected by Kenyans by casting votes. So, Mama Gashi, in all this election that I have campaigned for Raila throughout the country in road shows and so on, including the Kikuyu lads, where sometimes we would be even beaten, but Mama Gashi was always there in those vehicles. So even in this last election, for her to become a senator, in fact, the Montet wrote me a letter saying, how wonderful are you, SK, you could have convinced Raila to appoint you senator, but instead you selected our daughter to become senator. So that's how Betty became a senator. So life has been all this time that we, Muranga group, we always used to go there during Christmas as families. Yeah. And we would stay there before Christmas Day until New Year's Day. And we would get enough goats from the auction in Baringo, and we would get all of them enough to eat. There is somebody who calls all these ladies my wives. He's still there. He's there. Linus Getahi, former managing director of Nation newspaper. Anytime I get invited anywhere, he says, and you go with your wives. They all called my wives. What is Waja? Waja, her husband died this year.
2 weeks.
208, and because she's part of this family, we have never stopped. He was the computer manager. In fact, I remember when we changed the votes for Raila, he called the managing director, Macharia, because he was in the control room, and said the chairman is with some people in the office, and he's giving us figures to change. And what should we do? And Macharia said, if he's the chairman, then there is nothing you can do about it, you obey. You can keep on hitting me, but it's better to tell the truth. I told you my age. So Murang'a group, Getahi always, anytime he found a chance, he would come to Murang'a from you people. I heard you speak here. He would come to Murang'a and he would enjoy him because he was always close and he was on call all the time. So, I can even tell you as a last thing to say that Royal Media was started because of Raila's father. I was paying for all the commercials in KBC for Raila's father against Matiba. But the commercials for Gaudinga will not be shown, and it's me who has paid. After the election and Moi came back, I went to the managing director of KBC and I told him to return my money. And he said, no, we don't return money for commercials that did not air. I said, no. You have to either return him the money or you give me a license to go and set up my own radio and television so that nobody else will ever do this to me again. And for him to kick me out of the office, he told me go and write to the office of the president. And I got a reply. I did that. I got a reply, one line, that you cannot be allowed to broadcast private radio and television. Then I went to court, and after 4 years, I got a court order that I can actually be issued with a license by late Macau and Wako, who was the AG then. And when they refused to issue the license, I went back to court to put them to jail for contempt. And in the end, they went to speak to President Moi. And Moi said after they were told they are going to jail, Moi told me, I was called to State House and I was told, why do you want to take my ministers to jail? I said, because they have been told to give me a license to broadcast private radio and television, and they have refused. He asked me whether I would join KANU. I was in ODM at that time, and I said yes. Are you going to support me in the election? I said yes. When I went home, then Macau was told to go and give me a license. So we drove from State House, and nobody has ever been given a broadcasting license. We asked ourselves, how do you write it? I told him, give me a piece of paper. I wrote, I refer to your application, dated this and this. This letter constitutes the only license you require to broadcast private radio and television. He typed the letter, and his secretary typed the letter. The PS called Adele was called. He signed the letter. That's how Royal Media started.
Can I say something?
Yeah. She wants to say something.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I think SK Baba will be president one day before you move on. Because let me tell you one thing, what he's not telling you. Last time, I was in South Africa. And I was not feeling well. Baba, I don't think you got to know about it. I went to South Africa. I was diagnosed with melanoma, but it was stage 0. Daddy could not even travel, waiting for his brother to become the president. Now you can see what Baba means to him. But let me also tell you, President Ruto is a great friend of the family. Baba, you remember when our son moved on, you came home with him, and that time he was DP. The other day, you went to see President Ruto. So he is also a very good friend of the family. About President Kibaki, you can even see we are with his loved one. Can you understand all that? So what do we say? In fact, doctors in South Africa were asking me, where is your dear one? And I was saying, he's busy doing campaign for his brother. That's why I'm saying, when it comes to his brother, even us as a family, we have to take a back seat. And that's what we have done over the years. So, what can I tell you? He is 84 years. He has seen it all. That's what he tells me now. So, good people, I must not forget to say thank you, Mr. Speaker. When Getahi moved on, when I got to Macharia, I found the senators. Veronica, my sister, and many others were there. I said, this is the Kenya I want. Baba, they were all there. Speaker, you have one great team. Then we went to Nairobi Hospital. They came, and when I went home, I said, that's the Kenya I want. The senators, the MPs from all circles, they were there. Please, Veronica, I asked you to tell the Speaker, well done, for putting everybody together. And also, tell the President, thank you. He has a great team, the Senate and Parliament. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Last word. Bete has not lost a husband. They are all my wives. We'll find him there. Thank you very much.
Asante sana, makofi tafadhali.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to tell you one thing. You see us here as widows. We are SK's wife. All the time, he never forget what is happening. When he was sick, Mr. Kibaki, his case Mwai Kibaki left. SK and Gadoni, they were at South Africa. They sent all the team from media to come to console with me. Let me tell you, there is nobody else like SK. I want to ask you, all Kenyans, you know now SK is getting old. Let us enpay him. And he's not going to die until he's going to see what he wants. Your Excellency, Honorable Raila, you know when you are doing campaign for you, I could not do a lot, but I was told I must be in Nyeri to welcome you at home. And you remember, Raila, you are my friend with Ida. When you went home when Kibaki was sick. You and your wife, you came home. And we are so happy. Let us tell you, politics is not enemies. We are all friends. And we know God is going to help you. And Mama Wange, we are going to be with you all the time. And the Muranga team, I was told by Mama Wange and the Gathoni, I am one of them because always, whatever they are doing, I am there. SK, we love you. And God to add you more years. You are not going to go anywhere. May God be blessed.
Asante sana, tuwapigie makofi. Thank you very much.